Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your
hosts,
Mike.
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic. So, tonight I want to talk to you about something I think is crazy that I recently read. I like to read Medium like almost every day, right?
Apparently.
And I see this term, and at first I thought I was reading microaggression. What it really says is, are you micro-cheating?
What the fuck is
7
micro-cheating?
signs you might be. And it says that micro-cheating is defined as tiny acts of infidelity that can and often do eventually lead to full-blown affairs.
Sounds like bullshit, but okay.
First warning sign is falling for thirst traps. Now, you know what a thirst trap is?
No.
So it's like some kind of sexy photo that someone puts up on social media to get attention.
Literally the biggest
And
heap of shit
they're
I've ever
basically
heard.
saying, like, look at my boobs, look at my butt, look at my, insert whatever here.
Uh-huh.
And if you're in a committed monogamous relationship and you see something like that, you have to acknowledge what you see and be like, okay, yeah, that's interesting. But then keep going.
No, that's stupid. I think that's the dumbest thing I've heard today. And I've heard a lot of dumb shit today.
Okay, so explain. What do you feel about it?
I just told you this. I think it's the dumbest shit I've heard today, and I've heard a lot of dumb shit today.
But how would you handle it?
I
What's
don't give
okay
a
with a thirst
rat's
trap?
ass if you like photos on Instagram.
That's not really what this is saying, is it?
It's saying that it's micro-cheating if you like photos on Instagram.
Okay, then I would disagree with that as well.
Am I wrong? Is that not what it's saying?
It could be. It might not be.
I also
Because
don't
it's
think
kind
it's
of
any form of cheating
Obscure.
if you comment on photos on Instagram. Why the fuck do I care?
In public, I think, as we talked about earlier, if
Uh-huh.
you send a private message,
That's different because you're being sneaky.
yes, you're hiding it.
It's the
And
act of
it's-
sneakiness, not the
and it
appreciation
really
of the
actually,
ass.
people want to go, well, how do you know which is this and how do you know which is that? There's an easy definition. And when we first started dating, we came up with this definition. And what we said was, if anything that we were to say to another person or do with another person that we would not want the other one of us to find out about is something you don't do.
Yep.
So that's how you know. So it doesn't matter if you go to the left side of the issue or the right side of the issue. If it's something you don't want your partner to hear or see from you, then it's not the right thing to do. So
I remember that conversation.
that would be so you don't need all this other crap.
I'm
But
sure.
I mean, here's a good one for you. We're gonna get through this one
You
quick.
need to hold on because I wasn't
No.
freaking done.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick you if you don't stop interrupting me.
Don't
today.
micro cheat.
Shut up.
You're so microaggressive. I love that I was able to weave that in there. And you do too. You're trying not to give me credit.
I think that anybody who thinks I should wander over there and kick him in the shin should send us an email or an Instagram message or call our weird
say your
hotline.
thing, because I got a good one here. It's gonna make you
Anyway.
laugh.
I realize now, after saying that that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard, that there are some people who might consider that cheating in their definition of cheating in their relationship. And I don't think that those people are dumb. But I think classifying that in general is fucking retarded.
Yeah, like what you're basically saying is, if you've never had a conversation about what cheating is,
Uh-huh.
you really shouldn't count that as cheating. You got to have the conversation. Hey, bro, don't really like you doing X.
Got it.
Makes me feel bad. Then after that, you best not do it anymore. But if you don't have an agreement ahead of time, that's not a cheating offense. How about this one? This sounds like a big old duh to me. Having active dating profiles.
You call that micro cheating?
Do we need to talk about that? That's just flat out cheating.
I'm pretty sure, exactly. I'm pretty sure that's just actual cheating. So maybe that's the second dumbest thing I've heard today.
Although I want people to realize, though, it does say active dating profile. Meaning, of course, that it's being used.
Right, which makes it full-on actual cheating.
Its mere existence doesn't prove anything.
You are literally seeking someone else to hop into bed with. Exactly. That's active. Cheating.
Yeah, that's not micro cheating. I don't get
Dumbass.
that. But this one's weird too. Not inviting your partner to certain events. I mean, I get why. I would imagine, like, I've seen situations where two married people in an office will be into one another. And so she doesn't invite her husband to the company Christmas party, and he doesn't invite his wife.
Yes,
and
but
the two of them are kind of there together, and everyone's like wink, wink, nod, nod. Like, we don't know what's going on, but we know what's going on.
But there are also countless events that you would have zero interest in going to that I would just not invite you. I'd just be like, yo, I'm going to this thing. Bye.
Well, sure. But what I'm talking about where
why would
we
you
knew
classify
both
that as
sides of the
micro-cheating?
equation. But I'm just talking about we knew both sides of the equation and we knew what they were up to.
I think
we just kind of like wink, wink. And I feel bad about that. Shouldn't have wink, winked.
Okay, but there's some people that are obviously doing shady things, but classifying attending events that you didn't invite your partner to as micro-cheating is dog shit. Dog shit.
Well, yeah,
shit,
and I think that's kind of what we're trying to do with this list is you're showing whether we agree or disagree. And I'm giving the example of why we agree or disagree. Because it seems like we agree. Here's a good one for you. There's a good one for you. And I think we'll probably agree that there's a potential for cheating here. Being protective of your phone.
Uh-huh.
That one, it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you're cheating. But when you're too protective of your phone, you're up to something. Like, that's just weird.
The act of protecting the phone has nothing to do with whether or not you're cheating or not. Just because if you are cheating, you'd protect your phone, doesn't mean all people protecting their phone are cheating.
Agreed.
So that is also dog shit.
Agreed, but my point is, it's reasonable to think in that instance that you might be cheating.
Not micro-cheating. Stupid.
So, interesting. Very interesting.
So
Stalking of an ex. I mean, I have no interest, so I don't. I don't know. I don't care about that.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I don't care.
You don't care either. Okay. This one's a bad one. Spending time with someone in a meaningful way and not telling your partner. Now, doesn't that sound like cheating?
Yeah. Sounds like actual cheating. Again, whoever wrote this is an idiot.
But okay. But what if all they did was spend time what does spend time in a meaningful way mean? That's the question.
Pretty sure that's an emotional affair.
So at the least, the best it can be is an emotional affair. And the worst it could be is the full-blown affair. Okay, gotcha. That's probably true. I would have to agree with you. That's cheating. This one too. Waiting too long to tell someone you're in a committed relationship. So you meet someone new and you talk to them about your life a bit, but you don't mention that you're in a committed relationship. It's a bad thing.
Okay.
Don't you think that's a bad thing?
I don't really have an opinion on that one either way.
So if you were single, and you were interested in a guy, it wouldn't bother you at all that he waited until you were emotionally involved with him before telling you that he was married?
But he wouldn't be cheating on me because I was the single one, remember? That's one of those things that your own individual relationship decides. Has nothing to do with normal people being able to decide what your relationship includes.
Well, that's true. I think the cheating, you're right, would not be between you and the married person. It would be between the married person and his wife.
Uh-huh.
And like you said, like that show we were watching, the wife was like, go ahead. I'm not sleeping with you. So if you need it that bad, go do it with someone else. And so he was going to. And then she judged him for it, which was funny. But that's why you can't judge this one as cheating, because either spouse or both spouses may have said, hey, go ahead. It's good with me. And that's their prerogative. It's their relationship. We may not agree, but that doesn't mean that they're wrong. That's a good lesson for people to learn. We don't have to agree with somebody, and just because we don't agree makes them wrong. Sometimes there's multiple answers to a question. There's just one of them.
Makes sense.
You were feisty before, and you're not so feisty now.
That's because I got tired of being interrupted and not being allowed to say what I wanted to say. So now I'm controlling it and not saying anything.
I will shut up and let you say whatever you want to say. I apologize. I didn't realize I was stepping on you. But it would have been nice had you given me a polite signal before jumping down my throat.
I said, hey, stop interrupting me, and you talked over that too.
Keep going.
Are you going to continue reading the article or what?
The article's done. I was waiting for you to finish your thoughts.
Well, do you really think I can remember what my thoughts about number 2 and 3 were now?
Why not? Do you want to know what number 2 and 3 were?
No, I don't.
They're easy. Well, you already said what you thought about active dating profiles. You also said what you thought about not inviting partner to certain events.
Okie doke.
Protective of your phone, you talked about. The only one you didn't talk about really was stalking an ex. You didn't really give an opinion on that.
Don't have one.
And I think you said spending time with someone in a meaningful way was at least emotional affair. That's very, very minor end.
Sure.
All the way up to potentially an actual affair, right? I mean, could be. Waiting too long to tell someone you're in a committed relationship. I mean, like we said, that one's a no-go because partners could have a different agreement. So we did talk about all of them, and you did have something to say on all of them. And that's what I thought. That irritates me that you made it sound like I didn't let you talk.
Anyway, the whole list is stupid, and whoever wrote that needs to probably rethink their brain.
Well, what's really dumb about it is they define micro cheating as like this little teeny tiny thing, right? Like it's a speck. And then, they spend some meaningful time with someone else without telling their spouse. Yeah, like that's a little tiny speck. That's a huge deal. And then they compare the two.
So what? There was 6 things. 4 of them are stupid. 5 of them are the stupidest things I've ever heard, and 2 of them are just actual cheating.
2 of them are just like, what?
So they're trying to invent a new term, and they just sound like an idiot.
But it comes back. The main reason I wanted to talk about this was to kind of wrap it up this way. I feel like society today takes things like this list and they ignore what's the obvious truth and they spin it their own way. Like that screenshot you sent me and the person from the Joe Biden campaign texting a voter, telling the voter that if Donald Trump wins re-election, we will lose our constitutional rights.
Did they say lose?
No, they said loose. Our constitutional rights, including the right to vote. Now, I know we got to keep an eye on it, but he hasn't done anything that remotely makes me think he would try to change our constitution.
Right down to the fact where he doesn't want crappy mail-in ballots because he wants to protect people's voting ability.
Right. Like, come on. Let's think about this. If he was the one who was going to cheat, just a thought here. If he was the one who was going to cheat, and he knows they're going to accuse him of cheating, why not just cheat? I mean, they gave it to you in on a plate with golden wrapper around it. Here, we're going to do mail-in voting. Well, you can cheat just as well as they can.
Yep.
But instead of cheating, And going, yeah. He's like, hell no. The only way you guys can beat me is not to go head to head. I'm not letting you not go head to head. You're going to go head to head. And it's working. It's one of the reasons why Biden hasn't announced who his vice presidential choice is yet. Because he knows that he'll lose the momentum from a lot of people because that's what they're waiting to hear.
He's probably forgotten he needs to pick a vice president.
But a lot of people, that's their deciding factor. So he's waiting till the last minute so that he doesn't have to give the other guy a chance to steal his newly found followers away.
You really think that dude who can't remember his name
is
thinking of that?
I think his team is.
Great, that's better.
I think his team is. He's not thinking of anything except, where am I and what's my name?
What state is this?
But, again, got to give the caveat I always have to give. I'm a fairness person. So, like, once in a while, Trump's going to be having an argument against something that you guys say about him. And if it seems plausible to me, I'm going to bring it up. Because y'all have no problem bringing up your side. So just because I bring it up doesn't mean I believe it or agree with it either. That's an important point. Just means that I think it has the right to be heard. Just like I think our presidential nominee, Joe Jorgensen, she has a right to be heard on the debate stage. I mean, if she's so terrible and the worst choice possible, why are these two guys with all the money so afraid to debate her on the debate stage?
Let's be real. They're afraid to debate her on the debate stage because she's the most educated one out of the three of them.
She'd kill them, right?
Yeah.
She's a PhD in something.
Uh-huh.
Psychology.
Uh-huh. She's a bona fide doctor.
She's an actual doctor. See? So that's something to take into account. Like think about that when you're voting. Everybody talks about how they want the best candidate for the job and da-da-da-da-da. And then they see that and they're like, well, we can't vote for her because we don't really know her. But if everybody voted for her and got her elected, guess what? You'd know her.
I just love the people who, they really only agree with Joe Biden 50%. And they maybe, or the people who really only agree with Trump 50%. But they also agree with the Libertarian candidate about 50%. But they won't give that person a chance. They prefer to vote in a rapey 70-year-old man to be the president. Rapey. Yeah. Both of them. They're both rapey.
No, I 100% agree.
They're
with your
so rapey,
assessment.
they both have rape allegations. Come on now.
No, I'm not. So I'm glad you bring up the rapey part because I was trying to figure out how to tie the micro cheating to Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but you just did it for me. They're rapey.
They're micro
people.
rapey?
They're like outside of the box.
They're full on rapey. No micro rapey.
Yeah, they're just out there. And you got to consider that. Both of them are out there. And by the way, I put it to you that way. Once in a while, I comment on one person's policies or the other person's policies. That's just something I do in this show. But today, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, hey, everybody has a right to be heard. Let them be heard. And then you decide. Not telling you who to vote for. Just saying, let people have their right to be heard. That's all.
Now that you've cleared that up for everybody.
So there you go.
Is that all you have to say?
That's it. I'm done with my soapbox. I'm jumping down now.
All right. Now that he's fallen off of his soapbox into a pile on the floor, good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.